There was this time I was on a bus on my way to visit my grandmother, and next to me was seated this mom with her baby, and we started off the journey okay, and then the baby starts to cry. And the baby cries, and the mother tries to give the boob, but nothing. It's just not happening. The baby is still crying. And then I was like, at some point I was like, I felt bad for her. I was like, can I hold the baby? Maybe we can see why the baby is crying. And she gave me the baby, and I was like, oh my, I just got why the baby was crying. The baby was like in gazillion layers. The baby was in a shawl, a sweater, so many clothes. And I remember removing one layer after the other, and I got to the, the basic layer, like this baby of mine, and guess what? The baby almost smiled at me, and she turned and she slept. That's what we're gonna talk about today. How do you dress your baby? Your baby just needs one extra layer than what you're wearing. Like this baby of mine is wearing an extra layer than what I'm wearing. I'm wearing a top, and this baby would now have a onesie and a romper, and that's usually enough because it's just one extra layer than what I'm wearing. Usually that's enough to keep the baby warm, not too underdressed and not too overdressed. If it's a cold day, and you're wearing a sweatshirt or a sweater, then you'd probably add a layer on top of the baby, and that would keep the baby warm. Usually that's the rule of thumb. One extra layer than what you're wearing. Remember, you can always layer your baby better. If it's colder, you can keep adding layers. Like this hat, you can add other layers depending on how it's going. Like if you're outside and it's breezy, you can add a shawl. If you feel like the baby's hands are cold, you can add mittens. If the baby's wearing shorts, you can add socks. So you can keep layering the baby depending on how it's feeling to you. So use yourself as the guide, and you'll be able to dress your baby properly. Remember, babies are not able to regulate their temperature. So you will use clothing to help them regulate the temperature. If it's too hot, and you add many layers, some babies even do get a fever. So remember, use yourself as the guide, one extra layer than what you're wearing, and your baby will be warm enough. You know your baby is overdressed if every single time you come and pick them up, they are wet. You touch them, it's wet to touch, then please reduce layers. Babies lose heat through their head, so if you're outside or on a cool place, you can add on a hat. You don't have to cut that hair off so quickly. Hair keeps babies warm, so don't shave it so early. Keep it on, it will keep your baby warm. Every time you overdress your baby, especially when they're asleep, you put them at a risk of what we call SIDS, or sudden infant death syndrome. And so we don't want the babies too warm when they are asleep. So, those heavy shawls or those heavy duvets that you use to cover the baby, maybe not a very good idea. Dress the baby warmly, dress them one extra layer than what you're wearing, add a shawl or swaddle them with a simple cloth, and guess what? Your baby's gonna be just fine. I am here for you. So if you've got any question, any query, any challenge, anything that you're going through and you just need another voice to take you through it, get in touch with me. You can DM me, you can write me a text, you can, WhatsApp me. But you know what? Better yet, take a video, a short video, WhatsApp it to me, and the next show might just be about you.